Alright everyone, and welcome to another week of League Racing highlights. And yep, timestamps as always are down in the description of this video. And yep, another sort of full house of races coming up today then. And we're kicking it off with round 5 of the season in Formula Xbox. Is season 7. And yep, it is a wet Catalonia then for the Spanish Grand Prix. And yep, this rain is not going to get any better throughout the entirety of this weekend here. And yeah, light rain for all of qualifying and for the race as well. So yeah, it's going to be a very sort of challenging weekend for us, I'd imagine, and we'll see if we can sort of take some good points away from this one, but I imagine it'll be quite difficult to do so. I'm trying to remember now, I think last season it was a wet qualifying as well, but then the race was dry, and yeah, we didn't qualify too well in that one, so yeah, we're hoping for better this time. I think that time it was heavy rain, so maybe this time we can do a bit better. So yeah, we'll see what we can do then, and maybe if there's maybe a few retirements, for instance, in the race, we can get a good result here. As yeah, it's the checkered flag then, and yeah, got a bit held up there. I'm not sure if that was an AI car or not, getting a little bit in our way there, but we'll see if it affects us. I don't think it did too much because we were struggling quite a bit, to be fair. So yeah, into the final chicane then, and just one more corner to go, and managed to actually do that one alright there. Managed to get a bit of time. I think the track was drying a little bit at this point, actually, I have to say, but yeah, it was still going to be light raining throughout the whole race. So yeah, we improved to 7th there. Our teammate took pole position with Case Legend in 2nd and Jack Spire in the 3rd, and yeah, a few non-times being set, although I don't think anyone had any qualifying bans, except for Ollie Bob, who didn't serve it. So yeah, I think he got disqualified for the next race. And the lights coming on now then, and away we go in Spain. And as I say, it's going to be these conditions for the whole race. So yeah, strategy is pretty much as you expect, really, just a one stop around about half distance. As towards turn 1 we had a pretty decent start there, I think, but just a bit cautious on the brakes going into the first corner, and we've sort of been held up a little bit there on the inside actually, and yeah, lost a position to, I think it was a McLaren there coming around the outside in turn 2, and yeah, we're down to 8th place. Then we've got Sinan looking at us as well then into turn 4, and yeah, once again it felt like I was cautious on the brakes there, and then we ended up drifting wide anyway, so that just seemed like it's completely pointless as that McLaren went off there, and Galvanic Gamer has passed us. Looks like we're on the inside though into turn 5, but no, he's managed to hang on to the position there, and then there's a yellow flag just as I rear overtook him, so we're going to have to give him that place back for now, but then gotta be careful here because my image is right there as well. So yeah, as we've got Ollie Bob spin off as well, the person who wasn't even, well, he was meant to be here, but he was meant to serve a qualifying ban, I think. And yeah, he has spun out there. On to the beginning of lap 3 then, where we've got Perez now challenging us for the, well, not for the lead, for 8th position into turn 1. And yeah, we go deep into the corner once again. That's going to give him a good chance to pass on the outside in turn 2, or maybe on the inside for turn 3. Looks like that's going to happen. We're going to try and run it around the outside, but yeah, we had to sort of avoid the AstroTurf there, but we're still side by side with him. But looks like he's just about ahead for now, and yeah, he might just stick ahead of us, it looks like. And in fact, we've got CP3 Clippers Jack here right behind us as well. So yeah, he's coming around the outside in turn 5, and looks like we batten wheels there, so very close. And looks like I can't even tell who's going to come out on top here, but there's just a little bit of contact there as well. We just sort of understeered into his back tyre, and yeah, that cost us a position there. Now we've got K Gibbs all over the back versus we're being pressured for position here, and we're just about holding on to this position to a final points place here as into the turn 9, I think this is, I'm not sure. We go, and yeah, we maintain the place. There's an instant then behind us, so I'm not really sure what happened there. But then we've got Luke behind us now, who I don't know why, but he didn't qualify. So yeah, he was coming through from the back, and yep, into turn 9 again. He managed to outbrake us from the outside there, and we're now out of the points. That is unfortunate for us then, from 7th on the grid. And then we've got someone disconnected up here, and it is someone who is a lap down, I think, because we've actually got CP3 Clifford there off the track. I think someone may have already pitted at this point. I think Casey may have pitted because of heavy tyre wear. I think that was what happened there, and then we had some more people pit in front of us, I think. Actually, I think I tried to undercut a few people here because we were closing up to a bit of a battle going on for, I think, 6th or 7th place. So I did come in a couple laps earlier than I intended to see if I could undercut, well, yeah, try to undercut those people, but I think a few of them actually came on the same lap and I didn't realise. So yeah, that didn't really work out too well, as yeah, for some reason, well, I say for some reason, we all know it's Cody's, it put people who qualified in the top 10 on the tyres they qualified on, so that really was stupid, because that's not how the rules work. As yeah, Perez there and Feely have a collision, and Feely is off into the gravel trap, so that's us up into 8th place. I think pretty much everyone has done their pit stops now, besides Casey, who obviously has locked himself into his 2-stop now because of the excessive tyre wear. And yeah, Perez going defensive into turn 1. We should be able to do a switch back then, because he's gone deep into the corner. He's out onto the AstroTurf there, and yeah, we managed to take 7th place off him then, and we're up into, well, I just said it, 7th place. So yeah, Casey then pits, so we're up into 6th, and he's all over the back of us now then. It was a lot quicker than this during this race, and now has fresher tyres as well, as we go defensive into turn 9. And yeah, he's trying to go around the outside there, but wasn't quite close enough, but he's still got a very good run there, so you may be able to get the inside here into this right-hander. You don't normally see overtake him, but he's a lot quicker than us, so you may be able to make it work here. But no, we stay ahead for the time being. And yeah, a couple of laps later then, we're still managing to keep him behind as we go defensive once again into this left-hander. And he may do a switch back this time actually and get past. And yeah, he's going to have the inside, and then we'll have the inside obviously for the next one. So yeah, it looks like we've just about managed to hold on here, but he's still there. He may still try something else. We've had a bit of a slide there coming out the corner. He's round the outside into the right-hander. We're giving him space. We don't really know where he is. We're side by side through the chicane, and still neither one of us wants to back out. I'm just sort of tiptoeing around, just making sure we don't crash into each other. As yeah, he's got a very good run then out of the final corner, so they may have a run down the straight. And I don't know if the slipstream glitch really is a thing, but it looks like it may have been affecting him here if it is. And towards turn 1 we managed to stay ahead there, and yeah, we're still in 6th position, but we have a bit of a moment there that may allow him to get through. We have another slide as well, and yeah, we're drifting wide this time, and surely he's going to get through now. And yeah, there he goes into 6th place. And yeah, he was a lot quicker than us in this one, so yeah, it was just a case of when, I think, rather than if, even though we had managed to keep him behind for a few laps. But yeah, after all that, then we are going to finish up where we started then, in 7th position, getting, I think, our first warning right there with about 4 corners to go. And yeah, just sort of a rather average weekend, I guess, this one in Formula Xbox for us, as we crossed line, and it is 7th place where we started. And at least our teammates took the win then, so well done Tim for that, with Jax for in 2nd. And then the 2 Red Bulls next after that, and then the 2 Renaults actually. So yeah, a decent result then for the team. Probably has set us back a fair bit in the Drivers' Championship, I think. Standards will be on screen right now though. And yeah, that is it then for this week's Formula Xbox. Moving on then to the Apollo League, and it is rounds 5 and 6 of the season today then. And first up we've got the United States Grand Prix then. This and Mexico moved a lot earlier in the season this time round. And yep, first up then, here we are then in Austin, and coming here after a very strong start to the season. Actually been on the podium 3 times in the first 4 races, and then a 4th place in the race that we didn't get on the podium, so a very strong consistent start to the season so far. Not had a win yet, but hopefully we can make that, well, we can change that quite soon. And yeah, as I said at the end of sort of last week's one, bit of controversy really off the track after the last race, because CK decided to leave the league, or I don't know, but I think it was sort of a mutual decision really. But yeah, some stuff went down, and yeah, he is effectively a championship leader, but well, he is a championship leader, but obviously he isn't because he won't be taking any more part in any races. So Jack Sparrow, I think, is effectively the championship leader going into this race then. So yeah, I guess that's sort of one title rival gone, but I think it's still going to be very competitive for the rest of this season then, as we're heading towards the end of our lap then. I think it was a decent lap. Wasn't expecting it to be quickest, obviously, because we don't normally do too great in qualifying unless it's a track that we sort of specialise in, I guess you could say, as we crossed the line then. And we were just shy actually of 3/10. I think there was a gap there, as one of the new drivers actually took pole position. It was the Roadsters from Jack Sparrow there, and then we were in 3rd place, so not too bad for us there. Our teammate was in 9th. So yeah, we'll see how we can do in the race then. The lights coming on now. Away we go then, and it is not the best start there, to be honest, as Jack Sparrow looks like he's had a good one, and he's looking like he's going to have a look at Roadsters into turn 1. As we go around the outside, and we actually get hit by someone there and got pushed out, but we got away with it. Lost 1 position, but we got away with it there, as Shafi Square also spun as well. But I think the kind of started right at the back really, because Taz had a wheel problem and just piled into a bunch of people, as Sint is now lagging a lot. And yeah, I think it caused a bit of a chain reaction there, and we sort of were right near the end of it and sort of got just pushed out a little bit. So relatively we got away with it. So yeah, we were lucky for that. And yeah, we were now right behind RRL Sint then for 3rd place. We'll see if we can get his position back as quickly as possible and see if we can get after the top 2 in this race. As yeah, we're in the slipstream then down the long DRS straight, and it looks like we'll be able to make a move here into the left-hander. So have a look if we can do it on the brakes. It looks like he's managed to just outbrake us, but we've still got the inside line there. And side by side, can we get around him in this tight section? It's going to be very, very difficult to do so, but we're still there side by side. It looks like we may just be through. We've got the inside line now for the left-hander, and it looks like, yep, we've just about managed to get that one done and managed to get a good exit out of the corner there. Probably blocked his exit a bit as well there, so yeah, that certainly helped us there. And on the next lap, he's now coming back at us, and it's his turn for the attack down this straight. No DRS yet, so this is just pure racing, I guess you could say, as we're once again on the inside line. And it looks like this time he's actually had a better drive out of that corner, but we'll once again try and go around the outside in this right-hander and get the inside for the left and see if we can pretty much do the same thing again. It looks like that's what we're going to do. We'll see if he cuts back. We once again try to sort of block the apex to try and stop him from doing that. And yeah, it looks like it has worked then. We're leading out of that corner, and we're skipping now to lap 4 where Jack Sparrow has gone for a quite an early start there, I'd say. Lap 4, I mean, I think lap 5 or 6 probably would have been better off, probably what I would have gone for, but yeah, we're busy defending from Sint at this point to worry too much about that one. And yeah, we managed to maintain the place then, and then the safety car comes out later on in the lap. So yeah, well, I think that early stop will have hurt Jack quite a bit there. So yeah, we're going to certainly come in for our stop now then, and go on to the soft tyres for the rest of the race, because they'll definitely last there, or even with the well, especially with the safety car. So yeah, into the pits we come then for our one and only stop of the race. Again, it's slowed down, and yeah, Roadsters comes in as well, as you'd expect. So does Sint, I think, behind us. And yeah, we'll see where this shakes out then, because obviously in this game the delta only applies until you cross the line. And yeah, we get a pretty much a free pit stop then, while all those behind us are still driving under the delta. So yeah, out of the pits then in 2nd place, and yep, that Renault is nowhere to be seen as we come out of the pits, and that is us and Sint up into 2nd and 3rd. But I don't know what happens to Sint, because he lags back somewhere. So when we get going again at the end of lap 8, he is not in 3rd. It's elusive Kev now then. So yeah, we're back racing then. We'll see if we can catch up to Roadsters, who does seem to be very quick around this track. And yeah, it looks like he may already be pulling away here. We didn't really catch him at all on the restart, and yeah, we couldn't catch him during the race, and he stayed well, he managed to pull out a gap of about 2.5 seconds over us, and we just never managed to claw it back. And yeah, still a very solid 2nd place then, as he takes the win. but no he doesn't, because of strict corner cutting. He had a 3-second penalty, and it looks like we have inherited the win here then. And yeah, that was our first win of the season. Redsters took second, Coot took third, Payne took fourth, and our teammate was in fifth, so a good result there for the team, with championship leader Jack Spar down in sixth place, I should say, sorry. And yeah, we're going to move on now then to the Mexican Grand Prix, where yeah, coming to this then off the back of a race win. So yeah, our strong start to the season has continued here, and we'll be looking to add to it at this track. And yeah, I remember in season 1 this track, Tyre certainly played quite a big part in it, as I don't actually think I uploaded that video to YouTube, so I apologise for that. I may still upload it at some point unlisted, but yeah, certainly not. It's certainly not on my channel yet, as yeah, if I remember right, a lot of people tried to do a 2-stopper in that one because the tyre wear is quite high around here. So yeah, they sort of gambled on the 2-stop. I tried to do, well, I did the 1-stop. It just about worked out for me. I was right under attack on the final lap of the race, I remember, from a couple of people who were coming through and were like 3 or 4 seconds a lap quicker. But yeah, it just paid off doing the 1-stop around here. We didn't really find out a lot last season because it was a wet race, so yeah, we didn't really see if anything had changed much. But looks like today it could be dry, so we'll see what's happened this time with strategies, if anything is different from last time when we raced during season 1. Quite a bit has changed, I'd say, with the game. Tyre wear glitch is gone, but I don't know if it would have made much difference, seeing as we would have been starting on the super slots anyway. As Jack Spar took pole then, we didn't have a great one that time, just 6th on the grid. Our teammate was 9th, but yeah, still got the race to come, so we'll see what happens then. Feely was 2nd there, the Redsters was 3rd, Frozen was 4th, and Vapicoot lines up alongside us then on the 3rd row of the grid. And the lights coming on now. Away we go then, and a massive jump start there for Rageaholic in the Haas. So yeah, I don't know if that was lag or just a jump start, but yeah, he has got that wrong big time then, as we've already passed Coot then, it looks like, towards turn 1, so I don't know if he had a bit of a lag start as well on the other side. But yeah, down towards turn 1 then, we're on the inside of a couple of people there, with 3 wide I think, with the Redsters and Stealth Aquas there, who came from nowhere. Not sure where he started on the grid, but he's up to 4th place now then. And yeah, we're still in 5th for the time being, as we skip to later on in the lap then, and looks like we're quicker than Stealth Aquas at this point, and he was sort of all over the place in the S's there. We've got a good run on him now. Redsters is right behind us as well, so you're going to have to watch out him as we're up the inside going into the stadium section. We clout the curb there, and that nearly sends us into the manor, which would have probably spun us out there. So luckily we managed to avoid that, but it looks like the Roadsters are going to have a better line through this final section and overtake us there around the outside. So he's up into 5th place, and we've been bumped back down to where we started then in 6th, with our teammate just behind us as well. So yeah, across the line we come then. I noticed a bit of a timing glitch there as well. It said we were in 5th place, probably due to the lag starts, but here comes our teammate as well here then, up the inside into turn 1. But yeah, we actually managed to not only keep maintaining position, but we also managed to challenge the Williams here then, as at the first chicane we come, and we've managed to maintain, well, we managed to get ahead into 5th place for the time being. As we go into lap 3 now then, we're catching back up to Stealth Aquas here in the manor, and yeah, having a very good drive at this point, as we see up ahead the battle for the lead between Feely and the 2 Renaults is really starting to heat up a bit. Well, I say that, but I think it was going all the way from the start of the race there, as still getting very close ahead. We're thinking about having a look there at Stealth Aquas, but we have a bit of a lock up and we think better of it. But I think we do maybe frighten him off his line there a little bit, I'm not sure, as he was a bit wide. But yeah, we get a good run in, but it's very difficult to overtake anyone around in this part of the track. But we see the top 3 are still going for it, as they're very close, and somehow they have not collided yet. As yeah, we're unable to pass Stealth Aquas at this point. Someone I think has just crashed out of the race there, and yeah, not sure who it was, but the safety car is now out. So yeah, that could make things very interesting strategy wise. We do come in at the end of that lap, as I imagine most people will, and yeah, I decided, I think, to go with the medium tyres here, because it can be a bit of an uncertainty at this track, like sort of tyre where I remember it was a bit of a risk last time doing the super soft to soft, I think it was. So even with the safety car laps, I did think that the medium tyre would probably be the safer option here. And even I'm saying that, and I would normally go for probably the soft tyres there, but yeah, still 12 laps to go then as we're getting ready to go racing. So it seemed like the more safer option, I think, to just go with the mediums for the rest of the race. I think that's what most people do, except for Jack Sparrow, I think. So I was very interested from him. We'll see how he gets on with that one. But yeah, we're back racing again then. Frozen Gamers leads the way. We were actually third in the end once things shook themselves out. As yeah, Frozen doing a very interesting thing there, weaving across the track multiple times. Obviously you're only allowed to do that once, so yeah, he could be facing a penalty for that one then. Even if it is just to break the slipstream, that is something that you're generally not allowed to do most of the time. But yeah, looks like he's trying to do it again then on the next lap as we're closing up to the back of Feely now then. And yeah, just a one move then from the Toro Rosso, and we're going to try and go around the outside here. It looks like he has just about managed to hold on and maintain second place for now, but yeah, it could well be the lead then if Frozen Gamer is potentially a penalty there for that move. But we'll see what happens. As down towards turn 4 then, we weren't close enough to make a move there. On to lap 12 then, where things were starting to space out a little bit, but Frozen has lost it there big time and gone into the wall, and here's out the race. I wasn't sure if his car was going to coast there, so a bit of a nervy second there. And yeah, we're up into second place then, and right onto the back now of Feely for the lead with 2 laps to go. And there's a massive lag moment there, and we somehow hold on to it with DRS wide open at 200 miles an hour, and my heart stopped there. But thankfully we managed to keep it together and stay ahead of Jack Sparrow, who did get up to third then with those soft tyres, but didn't pay off for him in terms of the race win, it looks like. As around the final corner then, it is Feely who's going to take the checkered flag. We're going to cross line in second, but once again just the strict corner curtain comes to our aid, and we take the win then, because both Feely and Jack had penalties in that one. So yeah, we take our second win of the night then, and both times we actually crossed line in second. So yeah, Feely was second then, Jack in third, Payne and Coot were fourth and fifth for Red Bull, and our teammate was sixth. So yeah, that does move us up to the top of the championship then. But unfortunately, coming up soon, well, I'll already be on holiday when this goes up. So yeah, I'm going to be on holiday for 2 weeks. So even though I've got like a 20-point lead in the championship at this point, I've got a holiday coming up quite soon. There'll be another week of highlights. I'll be going up in the next few days, and then well, you shouldn't really miss too much because of that. So yeah, because I'll be scheduling them while I'm on holiday. So yeah, you shouldn't really miss anything. Like there shouldn't be like a big gap like between uploads like there has been. So yeah, just a heads up on that. But yeah, that is it then. First week's Apollo. On to the far race for today then, and it is the F1 League Season 5, Round 10, I think, of the season. And yep, it is the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. And after this race, we will be at halfway in the halfway point in the championship. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things look after this one then. And yeah, obviously quite an important one then for everyone to sort of go into that, well, start the second half of the season in a solid position, as it looks like we've got a 3-way battle for the championship, I think, in the Drivers' Championship between Luke, Maestro and Azar. So we'll see what happens with them, but yeah, I think it's going to be close or behind for maybe 4th and 5th. I'm not sure who else is in that battle as well with me and Casey. I'm not sure if CK's in there as well. But yeah, it's going to be some interesting battles through the field, I think, for the championship. And in the constructors as well, I think it'll be quite close as well, maybe between 2 or 3 teams. So yeah, it's going to be interesting second half of the season then. Unfortunately, as I was saying just a minute ago, I will be missing a couple races because of holidays. So yeah, that is a shame for me there. But yeah, we'll see if we can get some good points here then in Silverstone. We'll have one more race after this as well before our break. So yeah, these are sort of 2 chances we need to take really to get some good points. As here in Silverstone, a track I do enjoy, but I've not had that much luck at on this game so far. So Yeah, we go 5th then with that quali lap, which isn't too bad. Maestro, our teammate there, took pole from Silent Mole, and Lexbox in 3rd. A's are actually 4th, they're on the medium tyres, so good effort from him there, and he may try to one-stop it there. I was thinking about doing that, but having seen the tyre wear during practice, I decided not to do that. So yeah, we're going to stick with this 2-stop, probably go to mediums for the final stint rather than hards, but the lights come on now. Away we go then in Silverstone, and it is a decent start there, I think, certainly compared to A's are probably the tyre advantage there. As running outside in turn 1, looks like we've managed to take 4th position there, as our teammate looks like he's held on to the lead of the race, with Luca in there just behind him and Lexbox right there as well, waiting to pounce. Not really in the title fights, well, not at all in the title fight for him, so yeah, he's not worrying about that too much then. He may go on the attack of the two of them here, but yeah, later in the lap, it looks like that's what's going to happen then, as Luke is taking the lead and Lexbox is going side by side then with Maestro for 2nd place here. Towards Vale now then they go, and Maestro's on the outside, but he'll take the inside now then for the right-hander of Club. That actually forces Xbox out wide and allows us to slip through as well then, so we're up to 3rd then, right on the back of our teammate now, as we skip on to lap 3 then, where Lexbox actually dives up our inside there, and yeah, an interesting place to try and go for a move, but maybe it sort of unsettled our line a little bit, but we still had the better drive out of the corner, I think, and yeah, even with DRS we managed to stay ahead there, so yeah, he's still on the inside though in Brooklands, and now around left field where, well, we've got the inside line back again, so we'll try and sort of block his exit once again and get a good drive here through Woodcut and across the old pit straight, and yeah, we maintain a position for the time being then. Now Lexbox is going to try and pass us into Stowe there, and we try and hold on, we're on the outside, but the grip just goes away from us, and yeah, through he goes and into 3rd position. As yeah, on to the next lap then, once again DRS in effect, and yeah, we're going to go through on the inside and into 3rd place, and yeah, this seems to just be one of those tracks where the slipstream is sort of just ridiculous really. You just every single lap it seems to be, you know, getting slipstream by someone. Brazil is kind of like that as well. I know it's like that Apollo race, and yeah, I don't know if it's just a track or just sometimes how it is. Like maybe the slipstream glitch is something that does sort of play a part then at times, and sometimes makes slipstream more or less powerful than it normally would be, as Lexbox goes through there in turn 1. But yeah, it just seems that like at times the slipstream is just ridiculously OP. Like even like you don't even need DRS at times, because like you can just be like well ahead of someone like who you're nowhere near, just like halfway down a straight, and it's just kind of ridiculous really. It's not at all realistic, and maybe people would prefer F1 to be like that, but I don't know. Like you need overtaking to be challenging, I think, and yeah, at times I think this game makes it a little bit too easy sometimes. Like if you've got DRS and you've got a slipstream, sometimes it's just guaranteed an overtake at times. So yeah, I do hope that that's something they'll look at in F1 2017. Maybe make the DRS more powerful. I think most players would probably hate that, but who knows, maybe it might make the game look a little bit more challenging and rewarding. I don't know, but we're coming into the pit lane then for our first scheduled stop of the race. I think Lexbox did a lap earlier, so yeah, that battle kind of got sidelined for a lap or two here, and into the pits then we come for the medium tyres, and yeah, they should take us to around about lap 16, 17 I think, and then we can go on to another set of mediums after that, and yeah, take those to the end of the race. Other pits become then, and Maestro's already gone on to hard there I noticed, but Lexbox on the mediums as we attack, and then with the DRS towards Stowe on lap 7 we go around the outside here, and yeah, he was having none of it that time, and kept it in there and sort of forced us off track a little bit as we tried to go around the outside, but yeah, nothing too major there, and he does maintain the place for the time being. And yeah, on to lap 8 then, where we sort of try what he did earlier on actually, and sort of catch him out into turn 4 I think that is, I can't remember what I can never remember what those new corners are called. I think that one there was called the loop, one we tried at the inside. And yeah, we've got DRS now then into Brooklands, and through we go then into 6th position. And yeah, a few people still to pit then, the ones trying to one stop, that is, I think. And yeah, we're through for the time being then, but once again he is right behind us towards Cops this is, and yeah, we managed to stay ahead for the time being, but towards Maggots and Beckett's he may have a look at us here, so we'll have to watch out for that one then, as yeah, through we go then. And just like the dirty air on this game is like literally nothing, even though I think they did add it, and I don't think it was in 2015, I think they sort of added it slightly in this game, so like there is just literally none of it, which I guess you could say is a good thing, but it's like I was saying before, really, it might make things a little bit more difficult in terms of racing, so which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, because sometimes it can be just, oh look, DRS slipstream overtake every single time. But yeah, we managed to maintain a place there over Lexbox, and this was a good battle, to be fair. And even though it was a little bit too overtake heavy, I think, as he does the inside into Brooklands and on the next lap, and yeah, covers the inside line there for Luffield, stops us from trying to creep our way back at the inside there. Looks like he has managed to maintain a place then for the time being. Once again, we're just pulling in like a massive slipstream there down the long pit straight towards, it's not really a long straight, but you know, towards Cops Corner there, and he manages to defend the inside line there and maintain 6th position. And once again, we're just following then through Maggots and Beckett's there with no real difficulty, and yeah, get a good run now then towards Stoke. So you can pretty much just predict what's already going to happen, really, just from who is behind at what point. So yeah, we'd retake 6th position, then we'll see if he tries to dive the inside, but probably not, because the DRS there probably gave us a massive lead going into the corner. And yeah, on to lap 10 then, where this battle is still going on. DRS wants it again, you can probably guess what's going to happen, and yeah, we go defensive, try and stop it from happening, but looks like he's through, but we're still there on the inside, so we won't be able to cut across us this time. And yeah, we get the inside line, but he may have a better drive out the corner there as well. We were maybe on a little bit more of an acute angle, so yeah, down the old pit straight then towards Cops Corner. He may try and dive at the inside here, and we gave him the space to do so, and he managed to make it stick there and keep it on the track as well. So yeah, it was a nice move from him there. Once again, we'll try and follow him through this section, and actually got a little bit wrong there, but we should still be close enough here, I think, with the DRS, because you can just reel him in from about a mile away at this track. And yeah, we'll see if we can dart the inside, or maybe go around the outside if he covers that, which he doesn't cover it. I thought he may do that, but he didn't, and we dived through. Didn't have the best exit though, so he may come back at us here, but yeah, he's actually running outside and into Vale. He did not break himself, and yeah, once again I think the outside line may come to our help here. No, it doesn't. He still is there on the inside in club. We're going to come back though for turn 1. Oh, we know we're not we're not smart enough, well, I don't know, brave or stupid, I don't know, to try that one. And yeah, he maintains what is now 4th position then, because those people who were one stopping are now coming in for their pit stops, and we'll see exactly what happens with them. I thought it was too difficult to do that, but we'll see what happens here. We once again have DRS then on Lexbox towards Brooklands, and yep, through we go on the inside once again. And yeah, we'll see if he can fight back again. This time I imagine he will, and if not here, then maybe through Maggots and Beckett's, and then on to the Hangar Straight. So yeah, down the old pit straight we go then, and he's looking at us in towards Cops. We get very close to contact there, but we managed to stay ahead, and we actually, I think, yeah, managed to stay ahead through the rest of the lap miraculously. But yeah, into Brooklands again. He's looking to our inside. Rolled reverse from last time. We've got the inside line for Luffield, though we should be able to hang on to this one. He may get a better run than us, so we'll see what happens. It looks like we've just about got him, but he's coming back at us here. He may try and pass to the inside of Cops. He's done it already, so he may do it again here, but maybe not, because of yeah, we passed him into Stowe again. So yeah, I guess not, but we actually managed to stay ahead once again, and then on lap 13 looks to the inside, and then I really don't know what happens there. Probably a lag incident or something now in this game. and he drops back. So that battle is finally over. It was a great battle, I have to say. But yeah, Maestro and Luca pull well away, and then the virtual safety car gets deployed. So I was thinking here, use this chance to pit and go on to the hard tyres for the rest of the race. But yeah, Luke and Maestro both had the same plan, but they sped in the pit lane. So yeah, a chance for us to gain a couple of places here, but that also really helps Azar and also Commando doing their one stop. So in we go then. The virtual safety car is ending though, so yeah, we've not had the full benefit of it, and certainly that helped Luke and Maestro out a lot more than it helped us out, especially as we had to get held as well for the other set of tyres being prepared. So we're going to come out of the pits then in 5th position. It looks like Casey has done the same thing and probably not had the advantage that he would have liked to there. We come out in 5th then, but we should be gaining a place here because it's quite a slow pit lane here, and yeah, indeed we end up in 3rd position then, really catching Commando at the end of this race, but we were still a good 9 seconds behind by the end, and our pace pretty much matched that of Luke and Maestro. So that is a shame for us then that we got caught up in that battle. It was a very good battle though, I have to say. But yeah, we're going to come then round the final corner here then, and it is going to be 3rd place across the line, but once again strict corner cutting comes to our aid and we get moved up to 2nd with no penalties at all. Commando with 3. So yeah, we take 2nd place in that one then, so I was very happy with that one. Azar took the win, and yeah, some crucial points dropped then from both Maestro and Silent Mole with that one. And yeah, standings might be on the screen now, I'm not sure. And yeah, that is it then for this week of highlights. And yep, should be one more to come then, and then obviously you won't be able to tell because I'm on holiday. I think I probably will be back on like the day. Well, I'll be back when the next one comes up probably. So yeah, I'll see you for that one then. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.